you need to have the idea about it. When you are doing some course, you should know the genesis of it, where from it came and what is the current one. These things you need to understand that. Now we are learning the course called Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Applications. Oracle was initially a database company. With the Oracle database only they were managing and they were supplying the database to all the people. Then Oracle launched the financials applications only in the 1990s, version called Release 10. It went up to 10.6. It was only totally character based, not even internet enabled. So now our friend Mr. Nanda said, who worked on that, they have released it 10.6. It's a good thing for me. Released 10.6 NCA. NCA, right?
Sorry, sir. Yeah, it was 10.7 NCA. I said 10.6.
10.7.
Yeah, yeah.
So 10.7 NCA. So it was a network computing application like that. It was not a standalone. You could use the through LAN system, you can have it, not through the internet, but still it was not internet enabled. Through LAN system, you can use this 10.7 NCA also, it came, I think. So after that, in the early 2000s, they have started with the 11i. 11i was internet. They put specifically because internet was enabled with this application. So that's why they launched with the application. Here, not only the financials applications, they went with the supply chain as well as the HRMS and manufacturing few modules. Process manufacturing was not fully implemented with the 11i. Till such time, they acquired a software called GEM software. Then only they went into the OPM, Oracle Process Manufacturing. Before that, they used to have the discrete manufacturing and also light BOM also, BOM and WIP also, work in process also they used to have, but not to a great extent in the manufacturing applications. Till then, they were using only Oracle database and Oracle forms. You must have seen in 11i also, Mr. Ananda, you used to have only Oracle forms. We never had Java forms. So in
Yeah.
early 2000s and 2004, 2005, like that, they came out with the release 12, popularly known as e-business suite, by adding a few other applications into the release 11i. Database continued to be Oracle. In addition to Oracle forms, they introduced Java forms to be more compatible with the internet applications. They have introduced Java applications also. We did not have any Java forms in 11i. But in 12i, because more and more it is internet-based application, they wanted to change from Oracle forms to the internet-based applications. They introduced the Java applications. And later on, in the later versions, they have gone for the ADF forms also, application development uh, framework. ADF forms were also used. ADF were in the latest versions, ADF, application development framework, application development framework pages. They have introduced the technology, only interfaces, but database used to continue the same Oracle only. From there, they will have to introduce the ADF application development framework pages also. They have introduced the technology into this release 12. Now, the latest version of the release 12 is 12.2.15. 12.2.15 is the latest version. These were upgraded, just upgraded. Though it is only version change, not the application change. Nothing changed in the application, but they may have changed some business processes and also some interfaces they may have changed it. Some fields may have been added. So everything we were able to get into the new version by applying the patches, necessary patches we apply and upgrade our database and also we upgrade our front end also. That means the interfaces were also changed. But now, up to release 12, Oracle was used only on-premise model. Customer used to buy the software, install it in his servers, and maintain the same by himself. So that was they used to do that. Now, with the advent of the internet and the internet applications and the cloud platform also, computing companies, they have started working on that and they have come out with the cloud applications also, launching the cloud applications. So taking advantage of that, Oracle has acquired some other companies like PeopleSoft, which was good in HRMS process, and Primavera, it was a small software company with application for the project management, and Hyperion, which was good in planning, budgeting, and reporting. Good in planning, budgeting also, and, and also they have got good reporting tools than the Oracle. So they have acquired it. JD Edwards was another company, a software company by itself, an ERP implementation company. So those that company was good in some financial aspects, and also a few of the supply chain process were good with them. So Oracle has acquired all the companies, like in anything, NetSuite also. Another company was NetSuite also acquired. So these companies were acquired by Oracle, and they have integrated their best practices or best processes with Oracle processes. Oracle on its own as an ERP implementation company for over 2 decades. So it wanted to have other best processes also integrated with their processes. They cannot copy. If they copy it, then again copyrights issue will come. They will be sued by the other companies. That's why they have acquired the companies. When they have acquired, they become the owner of the company, and they are the owners of all the processes of the company. So that's why they can as well integrate. So that's why they came out with the by integrating the best practices of all the other software companies Oracle had bought over. They named the new release 13 as Oracle Fusion. It is a cloud-based company. 13 is a cloud-based company. So now when they are coming up with a cloud application, they wanted to bring the best practices integrated with their practices and then come out with the product called 13 Fusion. Fusion literally means combining, joining more than one together as one entity, or combining more than two entities into one entity. That's called fusion, merging. So here they have brought it all merged with the integrated with the Oracle process. So they call it as a fusion applications. After release 12, the Oracle application was on-premise model only, as I explained before. Customer is to buy the software, he pays support fee to the Oracle and enjoys support for upgrades also. Maintenance responsibility was clients. Client only has to apply the support, but only enjoy the support from Oracle for the support, upgrades or any patches they release, bugs they solve, that they will get it by paying 22% license fees as the support fees to the Oracle. But in Fusion Cloud, Oracle is the owner of the software. We are not buying it. The client is not the perennial owner. So he is only the user. He subscribes for the software and he uses how many modules he wants to use and how long he wants to use. That he can decide on his own. So that's why it is only pay as you use. How many users they want to pay, how long they want to use. These kinds of things are done by the pay as you use basis, only you use it. You are not the owner of it. So the cloud model, the cloud computing is of three models here, basically. So one is SaaS model, software as a service. PaaS model is platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. These are the three methods that the cloud companies, these services, the cloud company, computing companies will provide to their clients. SaaS model is that software is owned by and provided by the cloud computing company, like Oracle. They are the owners of the Oracle ERP software. So they are providing this service because they have their own software and they want to promote their sell their product to other clients. So they provide the SaaS model service because the software is also theirs and the same software in the cloud is used by multiple clients. So we cannot make changes to the software. That is not customizations are not allowed in the SaaS model. So because here software is provided, network is provided, patches are applied by Oracle. Database administration is also taken care by Oracle. So that's why we cannot make any changes to the customization of the application customization. But reports can be customized. Reports customization means Oracle may have given you a particular format of the report using the database, but that may not suit you. You may want to arrange logically in a different fashion, or you do not want to see all the columns. You want to have only the few columns of the database, or customize it, look and feel must be different to you. So then you can customize the reports. That does not tantamount. Means customization of reports is not customization of the application. You are getting the data look how it want you want to see the data, you are customizing the report. So customization of reports are allowed, but not the customization of the software or the customization of the application is not allowed there. But here, second one is the platform as a service. In addition to the software they give, they also can provide you a separate place, server space. A platform can be given to you for your own application. For the software is theirs. Software is owned by and provided by cloud computing company only. A separate platform is given to the customer. You're not sharing the software with anybody. You are using the software for yourselves. So that's why we can do some minimum customizations we can do. Here also, though we have got a separate platform, somebody may question, why cannot we make maximum customizations as per the requirement of the client? If you make the maximum customizations, still the Oracle has got the application, patches application are done by Oracle only. Software is provided, network is provided, patches are applied by Oracle only. Database admin is also taken care by Oracle only. So if you make maximum customizations for your convenience, because the service is provided, including these other services also, they cannot whenever they apply a new patch, a software is changed, modified by applying the code, by using the patches. This can be changed. Application behavior will change. When the application behavior changes, some of your customizations may not work. So that's why they say that the customizations you can go as long as they do not alter the application. So that's why they say minimum customizations only we can do that. These two models, the Oracle or SAP or Microsoft, any other company who are the OEMs of the software, they are the owners of the software, they follow these two methods. There are other cloud computing companies like Azure and AWS. There are so many other companies also. Those companies will go for the infrastructure as a service. The cloud computing company provides only the infrastructure. They provide the space in the cloud. That means a server space in the cloud. They will provide you the network and also other required technology support. They will do that cloud based applications. But you can launch any application. Customer can have his own application. Either it can be Oracle or it can be Microsoft or it can be SAP or it can be any other software can also be launched by you in the cloud. So we can do as many customizations as we need to have because in the POS model, we can do any customizations because software is ours. The cloud computing company is not responsible for any patch applications or database maintenance. It is you, it is the client who has to take care of the applications or the patches applications or the database upgradations. All these things that then they can do is only client has to take care of it. So that's why we can do as many customers. They can do provide only the server space. They can give you the network only, infrastructure and network only they can give you. So that's the reason why we can do as many customizations as we want in this. So these are the three models of that. But Oracle is now mostly they are doing only these two kinds of services. Even if Oracle e-business suite has to be launched in the cloud platform, we can do that. Oracle e-business is, as I said, up to e-business, it was on-premise model, no doubt. But even if you want to use that e-business suite application in the cloud, you can go for this model, infrastructure as a service model, and we can use that. There are some clients even in Hyderabad, like Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad, they are using Oracle release 12.2.10, and still they are using the same application with so many customizations. Instead of maintaining the server in their premises, they have given it to the AWS. They have taken the service of AWS. AWS is managing their server on the cloud, but the maintenance is done by MCH, Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad only they are doing. So like this, these are the three models here. Oracle has declared support for all the existing clients up to 2035 because they have upgraded. Latest version of release 12 is 12.2.15 as I said. It came recently, a couple of months or 3 months ago, they came into this 12.2.15 version. So clients are being given the benefits of the upgrades. More and more features are being brought. So for them to compete with the cloud application, but it's a different application.
Yeah.
So up to this, that's the reason why they're extending support to all their existing clients also up to 2035. Oracle stopped support for the release level. Oracle stopped support for release 11i. 11i. So there will not be any client who is using 11i. If at all somebody is using 11i, they will not be given support by Oracle. So now there is no support, but they are extending support to Oracle. And it will continue even beyond 2035 also. They do not want to use, they do not want to lose the customers who are already using. More than 60% of the revenue is coming from the existing clients who are using Release 12 by way of support fees. So why do they lose their revenue? More than 50% of revenue they will have to lose in case they do not support the Release 12. It is not guaranteed. There is no guarantee that all the clients, because when you want to implement Oracle Fusion, you cannot upgrade as you have upgraded from release 12.0.1 to 12.0.15. As you have upgraded, you cannot upgrade it, the e-business suite release 12 version application into Fusion application. Fusion application is a totally different one, and you need to make setup all over from the beginning. So that's why they are not moving. It is a costly affair for companies who have already invested millions of dollars on the e-business suite. That's why they are not moving from e-business suite. And so the Oracle is also forced to extend support to them till they want to use it. Now, because that Oracle is not encouraging any new customer to go for e-business suite. They want, they are supporting and they are encouraging and they are giving discounts for the use for the clients to go for the Oracle Fusion applications. So now all new implementation jobs are there only in the Fusion applications, new implementations. Support jobs are also there in the Fusion applications because Fusion came, has been implemented from 2025 because clients have implemented Fusion applications from 2025, 2015 onwards, 2015 or 2016 onwards. So there are clients, increasingly, they are going in for the Fusion applications. They have got both the jobs. But still, because around more than 50% of the clients on existing, the e-business suite are there still. So you have got the support jobs on e-business, release 12 also you have. Support jobs also you can do that. This ERP, Fusion ERP, and also any ERP is a back office operation software. This does not support the front desk. Suppose a bank is using core banking solutions. You have to use the core banking solutions for their day-to-day banking operations. Customer savings bank account, current accounts, like that. This Oracle ERP cannot provide that kind of solutions to banks. This is only back office operations. So back office operations will go for the financial applications. The software encompasses with so many product families like financials, like supply chain, project accounting, human resources, manufacturing. These are all called the product families in the e-business suite, and they are called as offerings in the future. These are product families till release 12 e-business suite. In 11a also they were called product families. In Fusion, we call them as offerings. In Fusion, we call them as the offerings. So now each offering, financials is an offering. So in the Fusion financials, we have got these core financials applications, general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, and fixed assets. So we'll be teaching you with the setups, basic setups, as if you are implementing a new project. From the scratch, we will teach you everything. What are the requirements? Everything we will teach you here in these applications. But when we go as a consultant, when you join a company, there you need to know the basics of the procure to pay process. Is this a process? Or you need to know familiar with the order to cash process. Because every company, everybody will have to purchase certain items. They will receive the items in the inventory organization, and they will make the payment for the invoices in the accounts payable application. For all the transactions that we create in the payables, we need to create accounting entries. Those accounting entries have to be transferred and posted into the general ledger. So, though you are learning here accounts payable here as a final part of financials and general ledger as part of financials, you are missing these two processes. So, we will explain you the processes involved in this purchasing and inventory and basic setups we make them, not as a supply chain consultant. They are called supply chain applications. So, we cannot make setup for everything there. So, we will basic setup we make and we will explain you the process involved in this. Same way, other process is order to cash process. Here we enter the order management. We make the enter of the sales orders. We enter. We book the orders. Then in the inventory, we ship the material to them. From the inventory module, we confirm the shipment against a sales order. All the sales orders will appear in the inventory also for shipment. So now you will confirm the shipment in the inventory. Once you confirm the shipment, that means the order has been executed. The executed orders will be automatically interfaced. Status will change to executed. So that executed entry, the sales orders information will be interfaced to the account receivable application. And in the interface, we download the lines and we create invoices in the account receivable. We send the invoices to the customers. Customers send us the payment. We apply the payment to the invoices in the account receivable. So the missing link of this also you will be put to know the little bit about the order management and inventory application also, so that you will be familiar at least with the basics of these two modules, purchasing, order management and inventory. So when you are asked to move to from financials to supply chain in a new company, they would like to utilize the resources instead of going for the market resources. Already those who are good in financials may also be asked to learn some supply chain modules to move you to the supply chain stream. In that case, you will have a basic idea what you have learned here will serve you as the basics for you to understand it, the supply chain, what you learn in your company better. So this is what full setup and also full transactions we'll do in these 5 core modules. The other modules will go for the process are explained and basic setups are made in this. So we'll teach you both procure to pay and also the order to cash for you to understand the process. Now, this course is for 90 hours teaching. 90 hours of classes is minimum for that. If you have patience, I can go even up to 120 hours also to explain the more concepts if you are interested in that. But to explain the minimum things at least, not to rush you, minimum 90 hours is required. So that means 3 months, 1.5 hours class a day, but 1.30 hours class a day. Yes, we class the regular classes when we start it. But in between, you get some holidays. Some people may fall sick. They may not attend to that. We may have to repeat some classes. So that's the reason why I'm taking as 70 to 80 days will do. But let us take it maximum 3 months. I may go on leave for a week or so, 3 days, 4 days. I may have some work. I may not be able to take classes. All these are discounted and taken it as 3 months or 90 days. It is a 3 months course, so 90 days. 90 day sessions will be there for you. This you need to program well. And equally, whatever the hours I teach here, you need to practice also. The more you practice, I don't need to tell you people, practice makes man perfect. So the more you practice it, the perfect you become in your application, and you will be able to face the interview also well. I will explain the concepts fully for you here. I will explain each and every concept thoroughly for you that we are not going to enter into a job as a data entry operator just to enter the data in the screen and save it and move forward. We are going to become as a business analyst here. We are going to become the functional consultant. Name can be changed. Some companies call as business analysts and also some companies call as functional consultants. So here, that's the reason why I explained to you the concepts very well, each and every what we are doing and why we are doing it also. I will explain to you and how to make the setups from the scratch. As if you are implementing a new project, every setup will be taught to you. Then accounting entries. For every event, system will create. This is the financials. Every transactions we carry out in the application has to have the accounting impact. So these accounting entries are to be created. Why the accounting entries are created there? And also I will teach you the basics of, whenever I teach accounting entry, I will tell you the basics of it. What type of account is this? What rule is being followed? Why that rule is being followed here? That also I will explain to you. And I will give you the notes also. I don't want my students to be writing notes when I'm teaching so that they will be missing the core points that I teach. So they need to focus attention on listening to me what I'm teaching and also see the screens, what I am navigating through. So in these notes also, I will give you the navigations I will give you the screenshots so that while practicing, you can keep my notes in front and you can be listening to the video that Mr. Tirupati will be sending it to you. You can practice it also. Notes and videos also will be supplied to you. So this is the uh, one that we have planned for your course content of it. This I have taught yesterday also, taken demo in the yesterday's class also. I have taken the demo for some of the people. Those who have attended yesterday, they may be feeling a bit bored because of the repetition of it. But it does not mean that you will not learn anything out of this. You will learn something out of this second time also if you understand. Now, next time, now we can say that Oracle applications, the architecture of the Oracle ERP application, I will teach you now. For Mr. Anand, I will explain to you the comparison between 11i, 12i, and also to the release 13. Fusion also I will explain to you later, or with them also we can explain on some other day. But now the Fusion application architectures I can explain to you here. Fusion applications architecture. For everything, there should be an architecture. They have to develop of this one to suit to the enterprise like that. So here we have got the different organizations we have in the system. So we create multiple organizations because the software can be used by multiple, one business group or one enterprise that has got multiple legal entities. They have to follow multiple ledgers. They will have the business units. They will have inventory organizations. So like that, it is structured in this manner. So the top organization in this Oracle applications, Fusion applications is enterprise. So this is the enterprise is the topmost organization. Enterprise is a large business organization. Working in the same country, operating in the same country, with operations in one country or in multiple countries. They can have one country, they can have 10 companies, or they can have spread across multiple countries also they can go. It's a large business organization. Any enterprise has to do the business, it does the business only for maximizing their profits. So bookkeeping is a must. They need to record their transactions, day-to-day transactions of all the companies they have. So their transactions have to be recorded. So that's why they need to follow the ledgers. One enterprise can have multiple ledgers also. A ledger. A ledger will have constitutives. It will have a ledger as four components. So that's called calendar, currency, chart of accounts, and subledger accounting method. They have the subledger accounting method also. That is called the ledger here. This ledger is where we record the transactions, we post and we generate the reports. Our financial statements are generated from the ledger zone. Ledger is nothing but a group of accounts. So that's the reason why we have to create the chart of accounts. Chart of accounts means list of accounts that it will have. When you record a transaction, you will have to record the transaction by giving a date. Date. Whenever you post a transaction, when you draw the money from the bank will record the date, on which date you have deposited, on which date you have withdrawn from the bank. Same way, when you pay the salaries, you will record in the system on which date you made the payment of salaries. Or when you get money from your customers, you receive money from your customers. So there you will record the date on which you received the money from the customer so that you can reconcile his account. So every transaction, even if you buy certain things, you have to record it, a particular date has to be there. So that is why the ledger, whenever you are posting a transaction, the transaction should have the date which comes from the calendar. It should have a value which is derived from the currency, either rupee or it is dollar or any other thing. You will have to define the currency also should be stated, how much amount. And the account, for which account is there. It is a ledger is nothing but a group of accounts. So this group of accounts will be there in the ledger. Ledger is nothing but a group of accounts. Then subledger accounting method. Subledger accounting method, I will explain to you what are the subledgers. Now this is a ledger. A ledger will be followed by companies, legal entities. That is legal entities, but companies own. Legal entity means a person created by law is a legal entity. It is a company. Means companies. To make you understand, I'm writing as a companies. So this is the company is a government reporting entity. Company is created by law. And so we call it as legal entity created by law. It is also GRE. We call it GRE because it is a government reporting entity. It is a government reporting entity. So any reports you have to submit to the government, you only legal entities only have to do that. So one legal entity can have multiple business units. So suppose Tata Motors is there. Tata Motors can have their engines manufacturing division or engines manufacturing unit in Pune, and they can have their bodybuilding unit in Hyderabad or in Vijayawada. Vijayawada is known for the bodybuilding units. Autonagar is there. Most of the industries are spread certain locations only or in the Punjab. So like that, they can carry out their business. The company carries out the business. Then one of the lines of business can be carried out through a business unit. So one company can have the multiple business units here. So each business unit, a division of the business unit is a division of the legal entity. One legal entity can have multiple business units. One legal entity can have multiple business units. Multiple business units. What all they operate, it will be recorded for the company only ultimately. So now we have the inventory organization. Inventory organization is where the materials are stored, where the material or items are stored. This is a logical organization. That means you are grouping it. If you say it is Hyderabad, Hyderabad is a logical organization only. But people live in Hyderabad, but not in Hyderabad, but in a part of the Hyderabad. Physically, they live in either Amirpet or Dilsukh Nagar or Kokotpalli or in some other locations. Or in Chennai, if you say it is Anna Nagar or it is KK Nagar or Paris or something like that. Locations will be there. So their physical locations are that. So like this for inventory also, there is sub inventories are there. Sub inventories or one inventory or inventories. An inventory organization is a logical one, whereas the sub inventories are the physically material are stored here. Physically material or items are stored here. or items are stored here. So that's why we call them as physical organization. That is why we call them as physical organizations. Sub-inventories. A sub-inventory also can have the locators, like row, rack, bin. Like that, we can have the locators. When you are storing the items, you can store the items in an orderly way. So that's why we use the locators, so that you can easily locate us. So the locators like the row rack. When you go to the malls here, you will see all the items are stored in different rows. Each row will contain the racks. Each rack will have a bin, like first floor, second floor, like that. First stage, second stage, like that. You can have multiple, as long as you can stretch it and pull the item from the rack. So it will be compartments. So like that, they make in the compartments like that. A row, a row will consist of multiple racks, and each rack will have the pigeonhole like bins. They are called the bins. So that's why to easily identify the locators. To easily identify the items. Not necessarily that everybody will implement the locators. It is an optional one. Provision is given in the system. System is organized like this. So those who are not using inventories, they are using only providing services. Sub inventories are not required. Those who are using the items or the inventory, so then they will have to go for the either it is a distribution company or whether it is a manufacturing company, they will have to store the items, raw materials, and also work in process. They will have to have the finished goods also. So they can create one sub inventory for each raw materials, all one sub inventory, or work in process, another sub inventory. So then finished goods, they can have another sub inventory. All will come into one organization. All the sub inventories will come into the one inventory organization, identified with identify organization, inventory organization, but physically located in different parts, places within the organization. The locators are there to easily identify. So these they have organized, the software is organized like this. Each one can perform activities like this. At the enterprise level, whenever you create an employee, HR works at the enterprise level. So employee is usually identified the HR. Employee is identified with the enterprise. Suppose if somebody says, I'm working for Tata's, so that means he may be working for Tata Chemicals, he may be working for Tata Motors, or he may be working for the Titan Jewelry, anything. So Birla's also, if you're working, I'm an employee for Birla, I'm working for Birla's means. So that's called the enterprise. It is only name. Enterprise has got the name, goodwill. So that is there. But physically, you may be working for a different outfit, different organization of them. But employees are identified or defined or secured at the enterprise level. If somebody is working in one company, same group can transfer their employees to other division, other company also they can do that. If their company policies are like that, and employees agree for that. So now employees are defined with the enterprise, identified with the enterprise level. Ledger means this is called general ledger application. What are the general ledger application we are going to learn here? That works at the ledger level. Ledger level is the general ledger application, and also fixed assets also works at the ledger level. How it works at the fixed level, why it works, I will teach you when we go to the fixed assets module. But just remember, at ledger level, ledger, general ledger, and this one applications. Legal entity level, nothing works. Legal entity is only non-mistake. It is only reporting entity. As I said, legal entity works as a reporting entity. But actual operations take place in the business units only. So that's why if you just define the legal entity, if you do not define the business unit, you cannot record any transactions. Actual transactions are recorded in the business units. So one or many business units. So necessarily one legal entity, if it has to carry out its functions or it has to carry out its business operations, they need to define at least one business unit. It is in the business unit that we create. But a legal entity level, we create the bank accounts or legal entities are the owners of the bank. Bank accounts are created for legal entity. While creating the bank account, system asks you for which legal entity you are doing. So that is the only purpose here. It works at the legal entity level. And reporting, of course, legal entity is a separate entity. It has to report to the government. How can it report? You can okay identify the bank account, but you cannot issue the checks at the company level. You need to define a business unit, and the operations only you will issue the checks. So that's why at the legal entity level, we can only banks accounts are created for legal entities at the legal entity level. All the major 90% of the operations are taking place only in the accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchasing, and your order management, sales, cash management, and your projects and services. There are other applications called service applications. These are the activities. Every company, every organization has to procure, purchase. They will have to provide services. Even if they don't sell the products, they may have to sell their services. And also they will have to have the cash transactions and accounts payable. Payments they have to make. They have to collect money from their customers. So these are all the things that any organization, commercial organization will have to perform all these activities. So now a legal entity also performs these activities not directly, but through the business unit. So that's why I said every legal entity has to definitely have one business unit. Without business unit, a legal entity cannot perform these activities because they are performed at the business unit level. Now, inventory works at the inventory application, works at the inventory organization level. So here, sub-inventory is only physical materials are stored. So this is how the organization structure is created in the not only in the fusion, even in the e-business suite also like this. But there may be different thing. Set of books in the previous versions 11 we call them as set of books. In the release 12 they introduced the concept called the ledgers. So now here also continuing as the ledgers. In the e-business suite and 11 we used to have the business groups on the top. So here we have got the enterprise on the top of the organization in the fusion applications. So like this it is this is the structure of the organizations. These are the applications what we are learning. Each one has a place to play, a role to play, and where we can do that. Set up where we have to make it. So these things will work out. So any doubts or any information you want, further information you want on this application or the subject you are going to learn?
Sudarshan Garu, just one question.
Yeah,
This
please.
business unit, is that the
Yeah.
older operating unit?
Operating unit, you're right. Here it is the called operating unit. So let's just use the set of books.
Okay.
Setups. Legal entities were there. Separately, we were not defining legal entities up to 11I. Legal entities were not defined in the system. We give them as one of the values in the value set. Balancing segment value. There also we used to have the segment qualifiers and also the flex field qualifiers. Both we had there also, here also we have got in different name. So we give the values 01 company, 02, 03 company that are using the set of books. So that's all. Legal entities were not separately created there.
Okay.
Here, we create legal entities separately and we assign the balancing segment values to the legal entities. You will see that.
Okay.
So there, these two functions were not there in the e-business, in the 11A also.
Understood.
But in 12A, we have got the same concept. It is carried forward to the fusion also.
Okay.
So you know this enterprise it is a business group. Business group. So there here we used to have multiple business groups we can create in 11I and even in the release 12 also we can create multiple business groups. But here only one enterprise is created. Only one enterprise is created in the fusion. You cannot create more than one.
So if a client, say if it is an MNC and they buy Oracle Fusion,
yes,
for that, say Walmart as an example.
Correct.
So there will be only one enterprise created for all of Walmart called Walmart.
Correct. Walmart enterprises. That's all.
Walmart enterprise. That's the only one.
Yes. Even if they have got ledgers in India, they have got legal entities in India, the same in when we follow. There in the business group, Why we were creating multiple business groups in the previous 11I and 12I was there. So at the business unit level, we used to have the, business group level, we used to define the enterprise structure, right?
Yeah.
And also we used to say all the flex fields connected
Right.
to the job flex field, position flex field, cost allocation flex field. All
Right.
these things we were defining that. And rules and regulations were also followed by the business group only. But in the enterprise, to a country specific, they have introduced another concept called legislative data group. Below the enterprise, they have created one legislative data group. That I'm not bringing it here, but still, because to explain, I will explain to it here. Below enterprise, there is a legislative data group. So that will take care of the cost allocation flex field is coming here. That means employees' policies, labor policies of the country are accommodated at the legislative data group. This is not equivalent to business group because all other flex fields are taken only at the enterprise level. Only cost allocation flex field is taken here. So that's why we cannot say it as business group, nor we can say it as an enterprise also. So only one cost allocation flex field is taken to the legislative data group. So this we need to assign to the companies to which company, which rules, Indian rules you are following. This is a country specific. When we create a legislative data group, this is a country specific that we will assign to the legal entities. Every company to employ the people, they need to have certain HR policies. They need to have the labor laws they should follow, legislations they need to follow. So which legislation you are following, that we used to say in the business group we used to follow. That's why we used to create multiple business group. Indian policies may be different. Indian structures may be different. So different business groups we used to create. So now we are creating one common enterprise, and for one common enterprise to be country specific operations, we create a legislative data group.
Understood. So the financial statements are all at the legal entity level.
Legal entity level only. At the
Only.
legal entity level only we do that.
Okay.
Though they are following multiple companies, multiple legal entities are following one ledger, we are assigning the balancing segment values to the legal entities. And the legal entities are also assigned to the ledgers here. So when they are posted into the ledger, 01 company, Tata Motors, 02 Tata Chemicals, 03 balancing segment value, it is Titan Jewelry. So like that, you can select the financial statements can be generated.
So we can also have multiple ledgers also, correct?
Multiple ledgers we can have. Yes, definitely we can have multiple.
Yeah,
We
because
need to necessarily have it. Operations are different and currencies may be different. Chart of accounts may be different. Calendars may be different. Indian calendar is from our fiscal calendar.
Right.
We start on 1st April and end on March 31st of next year. Whereas the calendars of other US and UK are go with the standard calendar type calendars. They start with the date calendars. They start with January 1st and they close it by 31st December.
Okay. And the subledger accounting method also, we have a choice that different ledgers
Yes.
can have different methods and hence.
Yes, different ledgers. Yes, at the different ledgers, we can have a different ledgers method. Each ledger can have a different method. That's why we call it. At the time of different ledger, it's a component of four things, subledger accounting method. So a ledger can have a separate accounting method. So in UK, they may follow some other rules, financial rules, like that, right? So here, gap rules. So IFS rules may be followed somewhere. So India gap also is there. Indian financial reporting, FRS also is here. So according to that, you will have to create. Subledger accounting method deals with the creation of accounting entries in the subledger levels.
So
Subledger accounting.
So Walmart as a company that we said is Walmart Holdings as enterprise. For India, they may choose a different subledger method. Whereas for
Walmart India may be company. They may be following Walmart India ledger. They have to necessarily follow because their ledger functional currency should be Indian rupees for recording their transactions.
Right. No, I'm referring to the subledger accounting method.
Subledger. Yes. So they can have Indian gap method.
Indian gap method, and Italy they can have a different.
Yeah, Italy, Europe method, anything like that, or UK method, and US ledger, you can have US gap method.
Okay. And in the past, there used to be a reporting set of book, and then a statutory.
Here also we have got. Here these are called ledgers, means the primary ledgers. Here ledgers we have got primary ledgers, secondary ledgers, and also you have got reporting ledgers,
Reporting
and we
ledger.
have consolidation ledgers.
I see. I see. So for the same
Consolidation.
one legal entity can be associated with this 2 or 3 ledgers that you're referring to.
No, one primary ledger only. One legal entity can post in primary ledger,
Hmm.
but one legal entity can be associated with the reporting ledgers.
Ah,
Reporting ledgers, right? One ledger, a primary ledger is associated with the reporting ledger.
ah,
So transactions are not created in the reporting ledger. What all
understood.
the transactions you create and post into the primary ledger, they will be translated into the reporting ledger in a foreign currency.
Understood. Yeah. So I think that's the feature that was there previously.
Same
also.
feature, same feature. That feature is not changed.
Hmm.
As,
And
as far as the
consolidation?
consolidation also, same way.
Okay. So you can,
Mapping rules also.
like you said, different association with different consolidation books. So
Both.
say, for example, Asia, you could be part of the Asia consolidation.
Yes, you can create.
Like
Suppose
that.
only Asian ledgers, if you want to consolidate, you can
Hmm.
consolidate with the Asian ledger.
Hmm.
Or if you want to have another consolidation ledger, bringing all the worldwide ledgers, then you can have another consolidation ledger.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Fine.
And so we can create multiple ledger also, no, for one country. Like for
Yes,
India, we
this
can create two ledger. Yes.
yes, we can create.
Okay.
Suppose in case you want to have that, I will explain in tomorrow's class in
Okay.
detail
Okay. Okay.
about how the enterprise, how one enterprise can have the multiple ledger data groups or multiple ledgers. Each ledger can follow how many ledgers. That each ledger can have how many business units. There's a big chart again for that. I will create a chart and explain to you clearly on that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sudarshan, I have one
Yes.
question.
Yeah. Please.
So, enterprise, the Anand has taken the Walmart, right? So,
Correct.
Walmart, now we have Flipkart, Myntra, like no, in India, and in
Yeah. Correct.
right. I mean, so they're also. I mean, when we implemented, we created them as enterprise only. But they
Mm,
come under Walmart actually. So are you
okay.
saying that when we are reporting like no GRE, so
Mm,
we have created multiple legal entities. I'm not too particular about this
legally.
legal entities, but
Okay.
yeah. So we have created multiple legal entities, around 40 something like that they have.
Okay.
But enterprise level, we still mention that is a Flipkart India Limited, something like that.
See, if that depends upon the instance. I
Ah,
said one instance can have only one enterprise.
okay,
Suppose
one instance can have.
yeah, see, if they have paid for license for usage by the Indian company,
Mhm.
right, or Indian operations, they have subscribed to Oracle. That is called
Mhm.
one instance.
Okay. So
So
per instance, for one enterprise
one
that I understood.
enterprise. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. For
So
instance, only one enterprise.
we cannot configure multiple
Configure more than
enterprise in.
multiple enterprises in one
Yeah.
instance.
Understood. Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Any other questions or any other doubts you have or information you want? You can feel free for that. I can clarify to any of your doubts.
So
Kavita?
Sudarshan, actually,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what. So these concepts are very new to us. So it may take some time to get actually habituated to these words and all these things.
It won't take much time for you. The first day when you go through my notes, you'll understand them.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you don't want to understand. So you see, everything is a new tool. I am also non-IT background man. So as I told you, I was in a bank. So I had to learn the Oracle out of passion. I learned it. The first day when I joined my course, when the faculty was teaching the flex field, there's a concept called flex field. I got perplexed. I was not able to understand it. Maybe because of my work tension in the bank. After the bank hours, I came and attended the demo. Then I said, this is not my cup of tea. I cannot learn it. Then after 1 week, 1 month, 1 week, next month, the institute people call. I have paid the fees already. So they called me that another batch is starting, another faculty is coming. Then I wanted to go with determination. I went. Why not? I understand it. In the age of 44, I'm telling you that I understood it. And at the age of 44, I started learning SQL, PL, SQL also. That till then I never had any chance to know about the software or some other applications. But that's how this. It is very easy to understand. There are only concepts. There are no principles. It is not any rocket science not to able to understand that. Even the engineering graduates are performing very well, and also science graduates they are doing very well. So absolutely leave that fear. Don't be worried that these terms are not familiar. Two times if you do setup, once you make setup, it will be there very clear in your mind.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sure. Be
So
assured that
Pankaj here,
anytime anybody has any doubt or stuck up anywhere, don't wait for that. Send me a WhatsApp message. I will share my once you enroll, I will share my WhatsApp number with you all. You can post it. May not be immediately because I have classes, regular classes. So when I'm free for lunch or when I'm free for tea break, then I will attend to all my requests or the messages. I will attend to you. I will provide the solution or answer immediately.
Pankaj here, one question.
Yeah.
To elaborate more on the legal entity and ledger. So, like we came across one example where this is an Indian company and it has operations in multiple states in India.
Yeah.
So obviously, from GST perspective, all the different states have different GST numbers associated,
Yeah.
and their requirement was to create reporting or transactions at state level,
Okay.
and obviously consolidation at the company level. Uh, initially, we
Therefore,
suggested them
no.
one ledger
Yeah.
and one legal entity, followed
Yeah.
by balancing segments and all. But
Mm.
then later on, discussion went in such a way that they wanted to have something like ledger itself at state level instead of at company level. So,
Ledger itself is a very, very bad idea for that, as far
Not
as
ledger actually.
my
They need
knowledge is
accounting,
concerned.
I think. They need
No, no.
accounting of state
What
actually.
I what I would have suggested them is, if I were in that situation, let them
hmm,
have the one enterprise, one ledger only across the
huh,
country, and one legal entity. A legal entity
huh,
can be there anywhere. There is no problem. Throughout the India, one legal entity can operate it.
okay.
And each state can be defined as a business unit.
Yeah, business unit, yes.
Business. The taxes, as far as my knowledge, I did not make any tax setup in the fusion.
Okay.
I need to be frank with you.
No
But
problem.
up to release 12, I made setups at the business unit level only. We make the taxes.
Correct.
So if your tax GST is varying from state to state, so
Hmm.
that whatever the respective state GST can be implemented in the business unit because you are defining multiple business units.
Yes.
29 business units you can create for each state. So there
Uh,
Yes.
you can have the taxes can be set up at the business unit level. I need
correct.
to check it and confirm it to you, but my
Uh,
basic knowledge, my past experience says that tax must be implemented at the business unit level only as far as my knowledge goes, past
okay.
experience goes.
Yes.
Right. So what their requirement was like to have independent financial profitability reporting at state level,
For state, yes.
and
Yes, we can get it. Yes, profitability means when you are
yeah,
defining the
yeah,
business unit, you can define it as a cost center also.
correct.
And also the profitability is nothing but you can generate profit and loss account. You can prepare a profit and loss account per business unit. We can develop a report.
Uh, uh,
What are the sales? What are the taxes we paid? What is the net profit we got it? By
uh,
through a form of report, we can accommodate the request. So
report.
there is no need
Yes.
to have any setup changes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I mean, I'm really not sure why they wanted to do this because, in fact, in some states they had independent business itself, like two, three. They had multiple businesses.
Okay.
So business also was not same in few states.
Yeah.
So like
No, no.
segmental reporting perspective also it was different. It cannot be consolidated like from segmental perspective, accounting perspective.
Okay.
Other things were like common only. I also agree with you. Like, why to have all these different things instead of having? Why
Yeah.
not we have different business unit? unit registration for all the states where we can have GST registration number set up,
Yeah.
and accordingly transactions can be done.
Yeah, we can
Correct.
define a segment also for state, na?
Right.
No, segment we don't need to define for the state. When you're defining it a business unit per state, you are going to define it. And then state, we don't need to give that. Within the state, if we have got multiple business unit, in the business segment itself, we can give the parent value and child values. So that state can be a parent and child can be the business unit.
Right. And additionally, their primary balancing segment and secondary balancing segment is also there.
They can
So,
have it. They can have it, the
uh,
primary balance segment at the legal entity level. And also the secondary balancing segment they can use for the business unit.
or state level, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, state level means it's a business unit, right? A business
Yes.
unit, we can have the state level also.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have some similar example or something like this, let me know.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a requirement from the authorities actually, na, to report the profitability on the state level.
No, we can have, sir. We can have
Yeah,
that, Mr. Rawat. We can have the profitability statement. It's only statement.
yes,
Then
yes.
you can create the profit and loss account. You can generate the profit and loss account statement also at each
Yeah.
level.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts, please? Any other thing? Anyone has doubts or anything?
Yeah, just to add to this scenario only, like in addition to the states, so there will be two more things. One is the corporate office, and that obviously that will be some registered address in one of the
Okay.
states. So
Okay.
that also needs to be created as a business unit only, because it will
Yeah,
have separate set of transactions.
correct. It will have set of
In
transactions and
addition,
also definitely there may
ha,
be some expenses also. So for
ha,
that, in the business unit segment values when you provide, so you
mm,
can select a provide value for the corporate office as a business unit and
ha,
provide the values. Department location also we can create as a corporate office location. So
ha,
expenses also common expenses all over the corporate office, they can spend some expenses. At the end
ha.
of the year, they may have to allocate the expenses to various departments or locations or business units.
Okay.
So that
So
also we can
corporate
give you a
office
common value.
and that state may have one or two other offices also,
Yes,
but
we can bring
then
them as business units. Yes,
uh,
wherever these activities, accounts payable, account receivable activities are taking
uh,
place, that you can define them as business units.
okay.
So Sudarshan Garu, just
Yes.
so legal entity, we said that's the statutory reporting entity. So
Yes.
the financial statements in terms of balance sheet or P&L is generated
Correct.
at that level.
Yeah.
But segregation of transactions, and all that could be at the business unit level.
Correct.
But is it the company code in the key flex field that alone is used to generate the P&L and balance sheet? Or
Correct.
does the standard Oracle have a feature also wherein I can get my P&L statements for each BU?
Yes, we can get that. That's what I'm telling. Each
Uh-huh.
BU also we can get the P&L account.
Okay, and it's a standard report.
A standard report. We can get the business unit level also. We can get it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, previously there used to be, like FSG. I know this is many years ago.
Yeah. Yes.
Wherein we used to.
FSG was there. FSG was there. Now
What
here
is it?
in the place of FSG, they have
Hmm.
given the OTBA reports, Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence reports.
Okay.
So like that, so we can create transactions of our own, drag and drop. That's why they have got into the Hyperion application they acquired, because their reporting studios are there for them. Easy to report. Drag
Okay.
and drop type.
And it's a user
Yeah,
defined report.
user. Yes, functional consultant also can develop the OTBA reports with minimum SQL knowledge.
Understood.
Unlike the previous reports, which have to be configured only by the technical consultants by customizing with PL SQL knowledge, with everything they used to have them. So that's why it used to go there. But here
Okay.
now you don't need to have the PL SQL knowledge. Then you can select the columns which you want to be in the report. Of course, some technical knowledge which you can get trained easily on that OTBA reports.
Okay.
And also we have got BIP reports here. in the Fusion, business intelligence publishing reports. So there a technical consultant is required because more PL SQL is used there. So a functional consultant, of course, if he has got perfect PL SQL knowledge, he can develop even the BAP reports. Otherwise, he needs to have the strong PL SQL skills to develop the BAP reports. But with the
Understood.
basic knowledge on SQL, you can develop the OTBA reports, you can develop it.
Okay.
Yeah, hello, once again, Pankaj here.
Yeah, please.
Earlier, you were explaining the concept about employee, your company should have specific HR policies and labor laws, etc., etc.
Yeah,
So
correct.
it becomes easy to implement in application.
Hmm.
So there are companies who do not want to implement HCM.
No, yeah.
Then how do we deal with the employee
No,
data?
even otherwise also you're not putting the employee's data there, but the system, if you are suppose in the purchasing module, if you want to
Uh,
make purchases, you're not implementing HRMS, no doubt.
Buyer.
But in the purchasing, in the previous versions, it was a buyer. Now it is a procurement agent in Fusion.
Ha.
So if you have to create the procurement agent, that you will have to associate him you will have to create him as an employee user.
Employee user. Acha, okay.
Yeah. So normal user is created and the employee user also is created.
Okay.
So unless you create him as an employee user, he must be associated with a business unit and with the legal entity.
That structure we have to finalize.
Structure we'll have to do that. So in
Ha.
case you want to associate employee to a legal entity, the legal
Ha.
entity must be a legal employer.
Ha.
A legal entity cannot become legal employer unless the
Ha.
legal entity is following a legislative data group.
Data group. Ha. Correct.
That is the reason why we have to create the legislative data group in Fusion. It was
Okay.
not there before. It was not there before up to the EBS suite,
Ha.
e-business suite. It was not there. Legislative data group was not necessary till then. But in the Fusion, it has become a mandatory for them to create a legislative data group if they
Yeah.
want to use the purchasing.
Okay. And
So
in certain cases, like we have that employee grade structure is also there, no? Like,
yeah,
uh,
employee grade structure is for the purchasing module. If you want to
ha.
use the position hierarchy, then
Ha.
you will have to have the jobs. You will have to create the jobs and positions. You need to create the position hierarchy, other things. The grades
But
and other things are there for calculating the payroll. When you said
ha.
you're not implementing HCM applications, human
Ha.
resources, you don't need to have these flex fields. By default, whenever you create an enterprise, you need to select the flex fields by default. But
Okay.
you do not use them.
Hmm.
Yeah, only when you are using the payroll modules, then you need to have the grades. All the pay scales are defined based on the grades.
Okay, so is
So
it like this? Like, if HCM is not implemented, then this job department position hierarchy may not be available in few
will be
of the
available. No,
subledgers.
will be available. The basic structure creations, what all you
Uh,
need to have,
uh,
so that shared modules, shared applications will be
There,
there. Shared applications. Though you
uh,
do not implement it fully,
uh,
basic things like a job position creation, employee creation, these things are made available to you
okay,
from
okay,
other
okay.
from other applications. You can do that job.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts, please? Tomorrow, when I design this one organization structure in the form of a that's a organogram, then you will understand more better about how the structure goes. Any other doubts, please? Mr. Praveen Kumar? Ashuma Barua or Bori? Shall we close the session then?
Yes,